In this series of videos, I want to show you some examples of factoring trinomials. In the previous series of videos, we saw that it's very important to factor out any common factor shared by each term before you start any other kind of factoring of that polynomial. So every time I look at a new polynomial, I'm going to first look to see if there's a common factor I can divide out of each term. If there is, I will perform that factorization first before I continue on to factor that polynomial the rest of the way. As I examine those terms, I find no common factor other than the factor of 1, which doesn't do us any good to factor that out. So this is a trinomial, and remember, when trinomials are factorable, they factor into the product of two binomials. So put your empty parentheses there to hold the binomial terms you're going to create. Now, put in the signs. The way we can get a plus 63 under the L of FOIL, remember that's the term that would be created into the L of FOIL. The way we can get a plus 63 is either to have two pluses or two minuses. And I look at this sign to tell me what the situation is. In this problem, the situation was two minuses, since this is minus. So I'll have two subtractions in my binomials. Next step, we said, was to list the factor pairs that make the first term of the trinomial. Well, the only factor pair that makes x squared that we're interested in is x times x. Then list the factor pairs that make the third term of the trinomial. That would be 1 times 63, 3 times 21, and 9 times 7. Those are the three factor pairs that can multiply together to make 63. Well, from this group, I put a pair in for the first positions of the binomials. Well, there's only one pair there. That's x times x. Now, from this group, I need to pick a pair to go into the second positions. And under the O and the I of FOIL, it will have to make minus 16x. Well, this is a pretty easy one to see. What makes it simple is because we just have one possibility for x, and it's x with a coefficient of 1. I think you can see that 9 and 7 could be used to make a 16, couldn't they, if we were adding them together? So let's try that and see if it works. Now, the O, under this arrangement, the O of FOIL is going to give us minus 7x, and the I of FOIL minus 9x. And indeed, those two terms combine to the minus 16x that we need. And this is our factorization for that trinomial.